By clearly describing a SwiftUI animation for Codex, you can easily create beautiful animations for your applications. Let's look at how I created this typewriting, erasing, and cursor blinking animation in SwiftUI using Codex. To be able to create an animation like this in Codex, you need to be specific and describe clearly what you want the animation to be. By the way, if you want to try the animation out or just modify it to your need, you can visit the Open SwiftUI Animations repo. Over here, I have added that animation and you can find it as a gist. So you can just grab this code and try it yourself. I created the animation using just 2 prompts. You can find the prompts in the description of the video. To make it simple for Codex to build an animation like this for you in SwiftUI, I found it is better to start with an Xcode project. In my Xcode project, I can go to File, New, and select Project to create a new project. If you want it to be in a single file, you can go to the Project Navigator and add a new file by control-clicking and selecting the option New File from Template. We are going to select SwiftUI View and click Next. Let's name the file Codex SwiftUI Animation. So with our starter template, we can change the text here and, for example, put Opencode. So that is what I started the animation with. Once you launch Codex, you can give this file to it to start working with, or give the whole project to Codex. In the toolbar, you have seen the project name is SwiftUI for 27. If I launch the Codex app, I have added the same project in Codex. So over here, you have seen we have the same name, SwiftUI for 27. I started to use this file, OpencodeInXcode.swift, to create the animation. So this is the prompt I used to create the animation in Codex. I only had the text view, like the template we just created. Over here, we only have the text view. So I stated that in my prompt to use the text view in the file OpencodeInSwiftUI.swift to create the following animation. So I stated I want a typewriting and cursor blinking style SwiftUI animation for the text Opencode, which transitions to Xcode. I stated further to animate the blinking cursor to erase the word open from the right to left in the word Opencode, and also animate the blinking cursor to write and prepend the letter X to the word code, making it Xcode. It should be a repeating animation. Additionally, I stated the type of SwiftUI animations to use. So I wanted PhaseAnimator and also using Keyframe Animator, and wanted code in both Opencode and Xcode to remain throughout the repeating animation. So using GPT 5.5, it went ahead and worked for about 1 minute and 29 seconds to create the whole animation. So over here, this is how I started building the animation. I checked the Swift file I referenced and started writing the animation to that file. And over here, it stated it will implement the PhaseAnimator I specify in the prompt. So it went ahead to build a complete animation. And here we have a summary of everything it did. We have the PhaseAnimator. It kept the word code visible throughout the animation. Then we have a blinking cursor. We have the erasing part of the animation and typewriting part of the animation. And also the animation repeats forever. So if I go to the code preview, you have noticed here it is using PhaseAnimator view to animate all the faces in the animation. It also created these cases for the keyframe animation. So I went ahead to preview the animation. However, it was a bit jerky. So the only thing I changed in the animation is the animation easings. Over here, I noticed it used linear animation for each of the cases. So I changed that to easing out in order to make the animation seamless. With the first prompt, the animation seemed okay. However, transitioning from Xcode to Opencode was a bit jerky. So over here, I stated further to use the same steps for the returning animation. So you should animate the blinking cursor to erase the letter X from right to left in Xcode, and also animate the blinking cursor to write and prepend open to code, making it Opencode. So it went ahead to modify it again in 40 seconds and saved all the changes in Xcode. So over here, you have noticed I have the same file. So this is the same source code we just went through in Codex. So you can grab the animation from the GitHub repo. I have the link in the description of the video. Once you get the animation, you can even come here and customize the animation using the animation closure in order to suit your need. You can change the text to use a custom text and also change the animation easing to different ones. Over here, we have easing out, so you can change it to any custom easing type you want. or even use custom timing curves in SwiftUI.